So the best game AJ's ever played. Oh fuck, that was my fault. Throw me alleys, bro. They can't. I don't, bro. They be pressing up on you. Hold it for a second, AJ. You have to hold the screen for a second. You can't just. Bro, what the why do they keep on doing hop steps, bro? Don't I have to hold RT to just like dunk? Like, what the fuck? That was my bad. That was fucking retarded. Watch out for the alley oops, AJ. Throw at my alley. Oh. Throw alleys, bro. I can catch alleys like crazy. Got the elite alley contacts. But I can't do nothing about those alleys 'cause I don't have a high steal like that. Only AJ can do that. Oh my god. Travel. Bro, you're the one who was selling like the whole game. Yeah. I'll pass to you. Just like run around AJ and shit. At least he caught that board. Watch out for the alleys. Press square, AJ, when they throw that shit up. Yes, we won. We fucking. AJ was kind of horsing at that game, not gonna lie.
In-home daycare, and I said, well,
Yo, ready up. Yo, why don't you overthrow me an alley, bro? Throw me alleys, bro. Bro. Alright.
Right here, dirt neck. Right here, AJ. AJ, that's the AI. Stop. Yo, Kevin. Got you, dirt neck. Oh my god, AJ scored. Get a board, bum.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Ranking the Hokage Naruto. Just like the last list, this one will not be based off power. It's going to be based off my opinion on how they did as Hokage as a village. I'm going to actually format this to where I'm actually ranking them. So instead of starting with Hashirama, I'm going to start off with the worst Hokage, which is Hiruzen. Where do I begin? The Master of the Uchiha for me. The softest was Danzo and Orochimaru for me. The fact that you let Naruto, the son of the fourth Hokage, and the last remaining Uzumaki of knowledge to the village, all fucking alone in his apartment. I don't care that you're a god of shinobi. I don't care that you know all five nature elements. You were a god-awful leader. You couldn't protect the village from anything. You forced Obito, Itachi, and Sasuke to become villains because of your negligence. Ranking the Hokage Naruto.
Yo, getting ready up.
You say you've been doing this for years? Years, son? This mofo gotta heat his Xbox to turn it on. What in the ghetto gamery is this? You say you've been doing this for years?
Hello?
Years, son? This mofo gotta heat his Xbox to turn it on. What in the ghetto gamery is this? You say you've been doing this for years? Years, son? This mofo gotta heat his Xbox to turn it on. What in the ghetto gamery is this? You say you've been doing this for years? Years, son? This mofo gotta heat his Xbox to turn it on. What in the ghetto gamery is this? You say you've been doing this for years? Years, son? This mofo gotta heat his Xbox to turn it on. What in the ghetto
gold?
Yeah.
What in the ghetto gamery is this?
Yo, I'm about to make custom videos, bro. Come on, let's do it. You bitch ass nigga. You bitch ass nigga, Kevin, bro. I love you, bro. Get it, bro. Carter, bro, I smell it, bro. You stink, bro. Your ass. I'm about to drop my pictures, honestly. You ready, bro? Say I want. Say I want. Say it.
What? I wasn't paying attention. Alright.
That has to be. You don't want to get soft. What the vibes? Yo, yo, yo.
I should have pulled that bitch. I could shoot that many.
Going back to shoot him. That's not my jump shot.
Oh, I fucking bricked that. My internet, I fucking lagged so hard. Oh, what the fuck? Bro, I'm really trying to pump fake it. It's like, it's mad annoying. I can never pump fake it with the right stick.
AJ, what are you doing? Why are you going back up on them like that?
Bro, I should have pulled that.
I gotta just rush it, bro. AJ keeps going back up like I keep said no, bro. He's gonna suck.
Nah, it's fine. I just thought he was gonna go out to the 3-point line. Oh, how the fuck you missed that shit?
Tommy, why aren't you answering the phone? I was wondering if you were okay. Alright. Alright. It's okay, I'm at home. Alright, bye, love you too. We're here.
Bro, I thought AJ was gonna go in for the alley, but he ran in and stopped running. Bro, he did, bro. You did not see him running for the alley and then he just ran back out to the 3-point line?
Yo, can I get the ball? Can I get the ball?
can y'all stop going up in the paint on 3 people? My God, bro. Stop, bro. No, you do it.
Oh.
And you shoot it.
Dude, we're winning by like 20, bro. Oh, bro, that's not a steal.
Bro, why are you reaching, AJ, bro? They're let him run by you, bro. I like this. Alright, let me in.
Alright. Yo, throw me an Uber. Wow.
AJ, you idiot! Better hope he doesn't make. Give me the ball. No, no, no. Stop, stop, stop. Don't go up.
Going up is what I do. Can't tell me what not to.
Right here, right here, right here. Hey, don't be gay, don't be gay. Don't... Evan, bro, what are you? You're weird, bro.
That's crazy. What, bro? You got like 95% of the points. Bro, we're just like having a little joy. You don't face bums once in a while.
Every time we play.
Hey, let me get a corner three, please, please. Let me try to hit one corner three, and you can have the ball. Let me hit one corner three, please. I'll probably miss. You'll get the next play. Let me just try hitting it, please, bro. They're triple teaming you. Yeah, let me hit that, AJ.
Shit, I got saved. Give me that route, AJ.
Oh my god, oh my god. Come on, come on. I'm just, oh! I don't care about your freaking decision.
Gas is moving in. You...
Oh, really? Come on. Piece of crap.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh man, that was your son? I'm sorry. Use that.
Ready up, yo.
Bro, shut up, bro. Evan, bro, I wanna kiss you. actually a pretty good person. Even though you're a little gay, it's still cool.
Bro, try throwing me a few alleys this game.
Alleys, bro. I will come when I see that green light gun. All you gotta do, bro. Potentially that block. Trash. Your trigger trash. Trash good. Hit shot. Oh, are you serious, bro? Why are you standing next to me? Why is he just like?
Set him screens, AJ. Why did you pull it?
That, bro. I tried pump fake twice, bro. My fault.
Oh.
AJ, what are you doing? Yo, I'm wide open.
Oh, my fault. Bro, I thought I was holding R1 and X, bro, but it didn't fucking register the R1.
Record is on the line. AJ, grab that shit right here. AJ,
Ali, oh.
not being selfish. We're doing good the whole day. Change everything up, bro. Okay. Look at this, bro. I'm selling because of your bad momentum.
But he dunked it, he made it. That's not bad momentum.
Look at this. Bad momentum, bro. Taking every shot. My quick stop isn't working, bro. I'm a Yo, come on, come on, come on. Already, bro.
We're down by 4-7. Wow. 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 Size, whatever.
Why do I always have this? It's always this type of bad game. I'll have this when I play. I'll have good games. Oh, the next. Alright, give me that rock. Every time I feel happy. Flop on. You flop it. Let's hear this.
Uh,
Thought I was gonna shoot that.
uh, should just took a fucking.
Bro, I'm missing everything, bro. I'm about to just use this. AJ. That's all the way down. Yeah, I'm doing, bro?
Bro, just stay on him, bro. We can get 2 stops. Just stay on your mans the whole time, man. We're not having problem guarding them. I don't think you can shoot. Just don't jump, AJ. What are you doing? Just don't jump. Keep your hands up. Oh.
Bro, I got
What did you get stuck on, eh?
it. What if, bro? I literally not be there, bro. And I'm getting whites on my quick stops as hell, chat. That I'm getting whites, bro. This is straight holding.
AJ right here.
AJ, other way. Take it down.
We're not coming back from this.
Look at this. AJ is. Or you are. Or AJ is. AJ is. Yeah, I could have won that game, bro.
Damn, you went 2 for 12. Oh my god.
Is it gonna change?
Always that one back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna update the jerseys. I'm gonna go buy more food so I can beat them.
Yeah, I missed the
You
kid
know what I
like
mean?
that. I missed the kid like that. It's like 100 people.
Would you guys be okay if I took a 5-minute break?
Yeah. They never talk like that for real. And they ask other questions.
What time are you gonna ask Kevin Smith?
Hella dumb on my
Kevin.
Do I have a girlfriend?
Ass nigga, bro.
Nah, why you ask that?
Kevin, bro. Why you ignoring me?
No, I'm playing. I'm playing. Please, hold on. It's a regular recording. It's a regular recording.
Yo, we gotta win one more, bro. Come on. AJ, ready up.
Anime tier list. Not gonna have time to explain why, but enjoy the ride. OG Naruto, S tier. Naruto Shippuden, A tier. Toradora, B tier.
Yo, AJ.
But I got stuck on that screen, like, I ran around it like I was fucking Houdini. Are you really here? Or are you just gonna go 1 for 12? Yeah, you did.
Can't do this every time we play, bro. Pass.
Bro, you're not a ball handler, AJ. Like, you have literally no handles. Like, stop with that shit.
Stop hop stepping, bro. I'm going to snick it. You hear me? That. Where are you, bro? Stay down in the paint, kid. Why did you run to the 3, bro? What are you running out here for, bro? Bro, play with IQ, please. Bro, I got you. Why are you guys doing layups? Bro, throw it out, throw it out, throw it out.
Bruh, it's like the dude, it's like so fast for the latency. I'm not. Where the fuck is man pulling his fucking.
Bro, they're team, bro.
Why'd you. That extra
I
shit.
want
Oh! Wow.
and you freaking bodies ass. I knew I was gonna early that. Right back, right back. Throw it out, throw it out.
Whoa, what the.
What are y'all doing, bro?
Yo, I'm not even meaning to do that shit, to be honest, yo. That shit's insane.
All this shit on
And bro, I swear to God, I'm not meaning to. Nah, I'm playing for real too, I got you.
What are you doing, bro? I don't get your IQ, bro. Ruining the game for me. Stay on your man,
Um,
AJ, throw the ball up. Now I'm getting whites, bro. I gotta clip that.
bro, what?
What are you doing? Oh, right here. AJ, bro, set a. I beg him. Come here, Kevin. Hit it back. Throw it back. Throw it back.
He deflected it. Oh, why are you just staying at the 3-point line, AJ? Like, run, run across the court. Like, run from corner to corner.
I'm losing it too.
Why you playing? Stop playing full court. Actually, nah, you keep doing you. Fuck it.
Throw it up, bro. Throw it, bro. Stop doing that. Pass it out. Pass it. Pass it.
I won't be retarded. I won't go up for stupid shit.
Yo, pick up on mine. Gotta get yours at the same time. Throw it up. Points. Kevin. Sparrow. Stay on yours. Have her leave. Yup. AJ, throw it up. Bro, AJ, you're being selfish. Give me it. I'm feeling righteous. Feeling righteous. AJ, I'm feeling righteous. AJ, yo, Justin, let me feel righteous.
Bro, what, bro? Getting the free easy points.
Now we about to change our uniforms and go even more.
Dude, nah, just play with the same uniforms.
Nah, bro, I wanna put on Daddy, bro. I'm literally the reason.
This is Sam Dolman. I'm an assistant managing editor. Our newsroom has been empty since March, but we've been busier than ever before. The pandemic has changed how we work, but it hasn't changed what we do. This is why we became journalists. To bring to light real, verified information when the stakes couldn't be higher. We can't do this work without our subscribers. If you'd like to subscribe, please go to nytimes.com/subscribe. And thanks.
From the New York Times, I'm Michael Barbaro. This is The Daily.
Yeah, bro, let's just keep playing with, don't change your fucking uniforms. Just keep playing till we, like, we lose or some shit.
Even if we lose, I wanna keep.
Alright, fuck it.
They've ignited a different kind of firestorm. My colleague,
Bruh, I'm not trying to go to sleep super late. Just start it up, bro. It's whatever. Change that shit tomorrow.
Yeah, and I wonder whose fault that is.
You don't call, you don't write. I thought we had something.
Yeah, I think that we didn't intersect it. That's true. But here you are, intersecting.
There's been a lot going on.
So, Kevin, my sense is that the big social media companies, which you have been covering for a really long time, have been preparing very diligently, very carefully, very expensively for the 2020 election and for the possibility of a major movement of misinformation, for some kind of act of interference, given how much they failed to do that back in 2016. So I wonder if you can summarize what the preparations that they have been doing have looked like.
So, since 2016, these three big social media companies, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, they've spent tons of time and money investing in trying to keep foreign interference from happening on their platform again. There have been new policies, new teams, they've hired tons of new people and moderators, and basically their goal is to just avoid being played again, to avoid the kind of foreign interference attempt that they were seen as having allowed on their platforms in 2016.
Right, and my sense is that beyond just being alert to this, they want to be more responsive, right? They want to be less hands-off. So if something happens, the goal is not just to notice it, but to actually do something. Is that right?
Exactly. They want to act in a way that is consistent with their policies, but also that is fast, that gets to these problems before they spiral out of control and become huge election interference issues. Mm-hmm. It's not just what they do, it's also how quickly they're able to do it.
So I guess in a sense, in the weeks leading up to the election, they are kind of just waiting for the first big test case for these systems.
Yeah, but the kind of fear that they've had is this kind of untold surprise. This
Yo, you ready up, bro?
Something new, some attempt to kind of steer the narrative about the election at the last possible moment. And that came from
green!
Last week.
I just greened a 3. Yo, that's insane.
That appeared on Wednesday morning.
Ah, damn it, Brash. I was about to turn off my meter so I could shoot better.
So, at a sort of broad level, what the Post publishes is a story alleging that there's this laptop that was used by Hunter Biden, the son of Joe Biden, presidential candidate, that made its way to investigators and ultimately to Rudy Giuliani,
I'm just gonna try it.
Lawyer, and that when they inspected this computer,
Ready up, AJ.
It had emails on it that the Post described as being incriminating.
AJ.
Now, there are still lots of questions about these emails. We have not been able to verify.
Bro, throw me an alley shit.
We don't know who actually got access to them and how they made their way up to Rudy Giuliani. There's still so many questions about the provenance of these materials and whether or not they're real. But that's just the sort of nutshell version of what the Post publishes on Wednesday morning.
And so what are the big social media companies, the three you identified, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, what are they thinking in their very well-prepared offices about this story?
Well, I've spoken to some people at the companies, and basically what they were thinking is, here we go again. To them, it seemed to have a lot of the same hallmarks as the 2016 hack and leak campaign that Russia carried out, where they hacked into email inboxes belonging to prominent Democrats and released those emails in a
these guys are
fashion
mega
to try to
tryhards.
steer the discussion
That's
around
G's.
that election. Mm-hmm. And so the way that these platforms think about threats like this, they basically have three options for what to do next. They can do nothing. They can let this story run its course and trust that, people will work out the facts and that the systems will work as designed. Mm-hmm. They can step in really aggressively and essentially ban the story from their platforms and say, we're going to take this down. We're not going to put any links to it. You're not going to be allowed to link to it, and we're going to lock your account if you do link to it. That's sort of the nuclear option. And then there's all these decisions that they can make in the middle between doing nothing and taking it down. And those would include things like putting a label on it or putting a little fact check underneath it or reducing its distribution through their algorithms rather than banning it outright. And these platforms know that they have to do something quickly and that whatever decision they make, the longer they wait, the harder it's going to get to restrain or to reel in this narrative that is already starting to go viral.
Mm-hmm. So how did these companies react in that very short period of time? What did each of them do?
So the initial reaction from these platforms is a little bit all over So YouTube basically does nothing. It says, given what we know about it right now, this story is allowed on YouTube, and we'll continue to evaluate it. Next, we have Facebook, and they basically come out several hours after this story is posted, and they say that they are going to demote the story, basically slow its spread in their algorithms until it can be evaluated by third-party fact-checkers. So they're basically saying, we're going to pump the brakes on this story until the people that we trust to determine whether or not these things are true or not can look at it.
So they don't block it.
Daisy,
they're
just
kind of
put your
throwing a
hands
shield.
up. Don't be jumping.
They're not blocking it, they're just kind of putting it on ice for the moment. And then you have Twitter, which makes the most aggressive call the early hours after the story is posted, and they say that we are not even going to allow people to link to the story because this violates our rules against sharing private information, because there were some sort of private information contained in these emails that the Post had excerpted, and that also it was a violation of their hacked materials policy. So they were basically treating this as if it were a hacker sharing some passwords that they had gotten from some data dump.
So Twitter is taking the kind of nuclear option.
Oh.
Not only is Twitter banning people from linking to this story, but it's locking the accounts of the people who do link to it, including some pretty prominent people like Kayleigh McEnany, the White House press secretary. And
Bro, I'm
Twitter,
passing you the
this
ball, but
is
you're
a
asking
pretty
for that shit, I'm
big
passing
enforcement
it to
action, and they're basically taking no chances with this.
Right, so they are choosing to do the exact thing that everyone said social media companies.
you. AJ, don't be jumping on him, bro. That's how you just
Information began
get your shit
circulating
sold.
about convenience origin, for example, John Podesta's emails. They are just
Bro, you
clipping
think
its
this guy's
links.
so
They are
fast,
making
dude?
sure it cannot be shared.
Right, and their theory on why they're doing this is that it's better for them to act too aggressively and let up later than to let something go and then try to catch up to it.
And so, Kevin, what is the reaction to this decision by these companies?
So among many people, including a lot of people on the left, frankly, there was relief that after years of criticism for not having done enough to stop interference in the 2016 election, that they were being attentive and proactive and doing something rather than nothing to avert a potential similar crisis this year.
But then,
This is a dark moment.
There were people, many on the
Yeah.
right,
This was mass censorship on a scale that America has never experienced in 245 years.
It's both insidious and infuriating.
Yeah.
who were very offended by these decisions by the platforms.
Make no mistake, Twitter, Facebook, they are not arbiters of truth.
They're all ingredients. So you're Captain.
Calculated
Alright.
political actors.
Alright.
Josh Hawley, the senator from Missouri, one of the sort
Yeah.
of most vocal.
Yo, y'all gotta leave and come back. Yo. Yo.
AJ, where'd you go? AJ left the thing.
Bet you could use a snack right about now. How about a toasty grilled cheese sandwich? Just be warned, if you happen to achieve gooey, cheesy perfection, you may be inspired to upgrade your tiny, drab kitchen. Only you won't be able to do it alone. In this moment of newfound passion, the people of U.S. Bank want to help. No matter what you're cooking up, they're dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit. U.S. Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
So, Kevin, what made this New York Post story, as you just said, such a uniquely complicated situation for these big social media companies?
So, I think all the platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, would agree that foreign election interference is bad, and that it's part of their job and something they're very committed to doing is stopping foreign interference attempts. But foreign election interference is not always very obvious. So in 2016, you had trolls in St. Petersburg who were literally buying Facebook ads in rubles. But there are much more subtle ways that a government or an entity could try to influence a U.S. election. And one possibility is that they could use a hack and leak operation where they steal information and then distribute it. But instead of going directly out with it or through an organization like WikiLeaks, they could go through a major American news organization like the New York Post. And these platforms, they don't find it particularly hard to take action against sort of cyber attacks and things that are, pretty blatantly trying to manipulate their services. But in this case, it's more like trying to figure out if the New York Post can be trusted or not, which is a very uncomfortable position for them to be in.
Right. Because all of a sudden, a company like Twitter or Facebook would suddenly be in the position, perhaps, throughout an election, of routinely deciding whose confidential sources are trustworthy and whose articles based on documents should be allowed to have their links shared or blocked. And that could become a pretty slippery slope pretty quickly.
Yeah, and after Twitter made its decision to block links to the New York Post story, they heard from a lot of journalists, not just in the U.S., but around the world, worried that this policy against not allowing links to hacked materials could endanger their ability to report on things involving confidential sources and whistleblowers. And that's part of the reason that they walked back their initial call.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's safe to say. We don't want social media companies to be the gatekeepers of journalism. We want journalists to produce good journalism that applies to standards, judgments, where information gets out and where it comes from.
Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter always been called.
I guess this is still an open question. The New York Post may not have done in this case.
There's still a lot we don't know, to be clear. I mean, our colleagues have done some reporting, and there seem to be some sort of red flags in the process behind this particular story. Apparently, the reporter who wrote most of the story didn't want the byline attached to it, things like that.
Not a good sign.
Not a good sign. So very unorthodox process behind the story. But I think it does point to the fact that these platforms are reluctantly being asked to not just sort of keep their platforms from being manipulated, but in cases like this, to kind of referee journalism in a way that they're very uncomfortable doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that arguably shouldn't be their job at all. But because of the nature of these hack and leak campaigns, they sometimes have to be.
Kevin, listening to you, I'm wondering, are these social media companies and their policies on this kind of content, are they making journalists approach this with greater rigor and perhaps with the fear that they would publish something that would be blocked or deplatformed? I mean, would that become an incentive for everyone in the news media, who of course wants their content to be shared, to...
Yo, AJ, ready up, bro.
I don't think the platform set out to improve journalism. I don't think that's one of their goals here. But I think in this case, they may actually reporters a favor by coming out early and aggressively to say there is
Green
issue about this story, and their decision to act
on
it
his number
changed the tenor of some of the coverage that followed. Instead of just repeating what was in these alleged emails, the story became sort of about process and journalistic rigor and platform governance and all of these sort of meta topics that I think ultimately shed more light on what happened than just going back through the emails and printing the most salacious parts.
Right, and that's very different from what happened in 2016 when the emails stolen from the Democratic Party. And again, we don't know if any emails were stolen from anybody in this case, but back in 2016, those emails were made public, and news organizations, including the New York Times, including me as a reporter, went through them and generated stories about them. And it wasn't about where they had come from. It was about what they had revealed about the characters in the news.
Right, and I think that points to one of the major shifts that has happened since 2016. It's not just the platforms that have been worried about a repeat hack and leak operation and making plans for what they're going to do. It's also
I get that ass at threes.
At the Times, like I and a group of other disinformation reporters and
You seen that?
put together a list of guidelines for how we would handle a hack and leak that resembled the one we saw in 2016.
Mm-hmm. And is there anything you can say?
Yeah, it's a 5-step process, and we gave it a silly acronym. It's the email method, of course. So there's evidence, motive, activity, intent, and labels. And it's just the kind of thing that we are considering internally as sort of a checklist for the process that we go through when something like a hack and leak does emerge.
Kevin, I'm curious if all the diligence from these news organizations, like the Times, and the crackdown by the big social media companies on this New York Post story, did it work? Did it, at the end of the day, limit the reach of this story, whose origins we are still trying to figure out and which are suspicious?
Yes and no. Mm-hmm. I think just in pure statistical terms, like the story still traveled very widely. It was among the highest performing articles on social media that day. It's been getting wall-to-wall coverage on Fox News and from other right-wing media outlets. So in that sense, if the goal was to reduce the visibility of the story, I think the answer is that no, it didn't stop this story from getting out or being discussed, and may have, in fact, drawn more attention to it than it otherwise would have gotten. But I think the thing that did change is the kind of attention that was being paid to the story. And it represents, I think, a real break from 2016 when the story became all about the emails, all about John Podesta and the DNC and Hillary Clinton when we were late, frankly, to turn our attention to the bigger story behind that story, which was that Russia was trying to interfere in our election.
A bit messily, and with some high-profile reversals, with plenty of angry partisans, and with a story that was supposed to be losing steam that has definitely made its way around the internet, we are seeing some meaningful improvements in this social media system over 2016.
Yeah, I think we are. And all of this is super messy and complicated, and there will no doubt continue to be mistakes and reversals and people claiming partisan bias and threats to free speech. All of that's going to continue. And, there are still 2 weeks until the election, so we don't know what could happen between now and then. But right now, I think the big picture is that we are all now much more aware of how we can be manipulated, whether we are executives at a social platform like Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, whether it's us as journalists at the New York Times, or whether it's just voters, people who consume the news and are trying to make sense of what's happening. I think we are all now much more conscious than we were in 2016 of all of the ways that we could be manipulated or tricked or baited or taken advantage of. And I think that increased awareness, that consciousness of the risks that we face, is a good thing, no matter what happens with any one particular story.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
On documents should be allowed to have their links shared or blocked, and that could become a pretty slippery slope pretty quickly.
Yeah, and after Twitter made its decision to block links to the New York Post story, they heard from a lot of journalists, not just in the U.S., but around the world, who worried that this policy against not allowing news to access materials could endanger their ability to report on things involving confidential sources and whistleblowers. And that's part of the reason that they walked back their initial call.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's safe to say we don't want social media companies to be the gatekeepers of journalism. We want journalists to produce good journalism that applies standards and thoughtful judgments to what information gets out and where it comes from. And I guess this is still an open question. The New York Post may not have done that in this case.
There's still a lot we don't know, to be clear. I mean, our colleagues have done some reporting, and there seem to be some sort of red flags in the process behind this particular story. Apparently the reporter who wrote most of the story didn't want his byline attached to it, things like that.
Not a good sign.
Not a good sign. So very unorthodox process behind the story. But I think it does point to the fact that these platforms are reluctantly being asked to not just sort of keep their platforms from being manipulated, but in cases like this, to kind of referee journalism in a way that they're very uncomfortable doing. And that arguably shouldn't be their job at all. But because of the nature of these hack and leak campaigns, they sometimes have to be.
Kevin, listening to you, I'm wondering, are these social media companies and their policies on this kind of content, are they making journalists approach this with greater rigor and perhaps with the fear that they would publish something that would be blocked or deplatformed? And would that become an incentive for everyone in the news media, who of course wants their content to be shared, to behave better?
I don't think the platform set out to improve journalism. I don't think that's one of their sort of goals here. But I think in this case, they may actually have done reporters a favor by coming out early and aggressively to say there is something fishy about this story. And their decision to act on it changed the tenor of some of the coverage that followed. Instead of just repeating what was in these alleged emails, the story became sort of about the process.
What?
journalistic
What?
rigor and
My life has
platform
just been a
governance
complete
and all
lie.
these sort of meta topics that I think ultimately shed more light on
That
what
shit was
happened
gay.
than just going back through the emails
I ain't
and
gonna
printing
lie.
the most salacious parts.
Right, and that's very different from what happened in 2016 when the emails stolen from the Democratic Party. And again, we don't know if any emails were stolen from anybody in this case, but back in 2016, those emails were made public, and news organizations, including the New York Times, including me as a reporter, went through them and generated stories about them. And it wasn't about where they had come from, it was about what they had revealed.
Get my 3 back.
Kevin, I'm curious
Bro, what?
if all the diligence of these news organizations, like the Times, and the crackdown by the big social media companies on this New York Post, did it work? Did it, at the end of the day, limit the reach of this story, whose origins we are
Stop
still
playing
trying
up.
to figure out?
Stop
and which
playing
are
up.
suspicious?
Yes
No
and
point.
no. I think just in pure statistical terms, like the story still traveled very widely. It was among the highest performing articles on social media
Let
that
me
day.
lower my.
I put a chain on your neck. Hey. Oh, let me quick stop. Oh wait, right here. Oh wait, to me. Why are you shooting, bro? Bro, it's not the time to play around. Fuck my whole mojo. quick stop and that's nice push out.
It made me fucking lag, bro. I thought I was going to.
U.S. Department of Justice.
Bro, AJ, why the fuck you shoot that shit?
Accusing it of maintaining an illegal monopoly over speech and serve advertising. The lawsuit